Hey, welcome to level 1 of the Strategic Mobility for Goalies program. So in this phase, you're going to see some things that you're familiar with, and some of you will be like, I know this already. But you're also going to see some new things. So this really is, I didn't just pick the name Strategic Mobility for Goalies because it sounds very cool and strategic-y. I picked it because that's exactly what it is. It's applying the same principles that hopefully you have in your off-ice training program, the ideas of periodization and adaptation. And I'm applying it to your mobility training because, as we talked about in the intro, it's something that people kind of think, oh yeah, I do stretches. It's almost like if I asked about your off-ice strength and conditioning, you're like, oh yeah, I lift weights. Oh yeah, I do biceps curls. It's like, okay, that's something. And maybe it's better than nothing, but it isn't what you need, and especially not what you need as a goalie. So if we're doing it, it's because I think it's important. I think it's an important piece of the puzzle, and we need to dial that in. So because it's important, give it the attention, give it the focus you need. It's hard because a lot of times your stretching program has been delegated to, in front of the TV and just kind of, you kind of mindlessly do your stretches. I want to shake that a little bit and make it more the way you approach your other off-ice training. So really focusing on what you're doing, trying to feel the muscle you're supposed to feel, trying to feel the quality of the tissue when you're doing your lacrosse ball work, and where are my trigger points? What does this feel like? What areas are a little more sensitive than others, and sort of learning how your body is feeling and setting up and being very in tune to that. So our priorities in this phase are tissue quality. We're going to do static stretching, probably the most amount of static stretching in this phase, just again some of you haven't been doing anything on a consistent basis. So getting you stretching some chains of muscles. We're going to try to work on some hip centration, which is just kind of a fancy way of trying to get the ball centered in the socket of your hip joint. So use a few techniques to work on that. And there's a couple muscle activation things, in particular the glutes, trying to get you to recruit your glutes in the right order, rather than maybe relying on your hamstrings. And it's not something you would feel like, oh, I think I'm hamstring dominant, but we're going to do some things to just try and really prime it so you're using the right muscles. So that is our focus on this one. It's really laying the foundation. Be consistent with it. Do not jump ahead, because again, it's like people who email 3 weeks before the season starts and they want a plyometric program so they can be more powerful, but they haven't been doing the training they need to do to get to that level. I mean, you can do it, but you're not getting the benefit and you're increasing your risk of injury. So just trust in the process. It really is a strategic plan, as you'll see. And you'll be amazed at how usually even after the first 3 or 4 days, people are feeling better on the ice. So there's 2 days, day 1 and day 2, they're called. And I'd like you to do them each 2 to 3 times a week. So no fewer than 2, no more than 3. I'd like you to have 1 day that you just take off. Now, if you're one of those people that's like, well, can I just do some foam roll? Yeah, I won't make you not do foam roll, but I'd like you to have that 1 day off, just especially in this first phase, just to give your muscles a day when you're not sort of on them. You're not going to force any of your stretches. It's not. We're never really going to force stretches. We're going to do some contract, relax things down the road, but in this case, I just want you to feel sort of a mild to medium stretch, not a hard stretch. Think of where you're supposed to feel it, and I'll tell you in the videos, where you should feel it. If you're feeling it kind of on the opposite side or in the joint, if you're feeling it in the joint and it feels like a block or pinching or pain, that's not what we're going for. So leave that exercise out. If you have other exercises that feel just fine, keep doing them, but leave out that one that irritates you. And then you might even send a question in that I'd answer on my live Q&A. So you can just send a question to help@hockeytrainingpro.com, and then I'll put it on my list and I'll answer it during my weekly live Q&A. Make sure you're documenting that you've done your workouts so that you can see your consistency with it. What else? I feel like there's probably something else I forgot, but I'll also do I've also done a little screen capture video walking you through the program so you can see sort of how it works and what everything means, so you know exactly what to do. Again, if you're not sure what to do, you can just email help@hockeytrainingpro.com or help@goalietrainingpro.com, and then we'll get you sorted out. But I think that's all I got for you right now. Welcome to level 1. Level 2 will show up in your dashboard in 2 weeks' time. As we progress through, there are 3 phases. This is a 6-week program. Also, level 2, you'll get your first of 2 free special bonuses. So I will catch you down the road. Bye-bye.